Welcome everybody to the stream. I am the Headless Headhunter, here to help y'all get ahead in the market, the job market. I almost got that right that time. See, probably gonna be a normal stream tonight. That is my hope. I don't have a ton of people for resume reviews, so, well, if anybody wants them, they're more than welcome to. So I think I only have 1 or 2 registered right now. So, all right. Let's see. Can I answer a good question? Perfect. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate it. So, yeah. How did your interviews go, by the way? I know you had a couple. I heard nothing of them. I hope that's good news, but could be. So, could be good, could be bad. All right. Let's see this. Former probation officer returned to school via the computer science, can generate applied to hundreds of jobs. Tailoring my resume, shotgun application, currently a data analyst. Develop more traditional role. I've gotten 2 interviews out of 300. That is not a good rate. Where one was for a consulting gig, and the other thing is a starter degree. Okay. Job marketing tank notwithstanding, check out the resume. Decline, but I have an interview. Okay, good. Not good that it was declined, but good that you have more interviews. I truly do believe the market is slowly picking up. So, hey, Goblin, how you doing? All right, this is not great formatting. Yeah, this is not great formatting. Okay, so they're looking for data analyst positions. Data engineer role. Okay. There's a lot of I'm okay so far. Started working out again, so I'm super sore, but that is the healthy kind of sore. So okay, I want an easier way to do this in a new window. So cool, that didn't work, did it? Nope. All right. There is a bit wrong with this one. So the first thing is there's a lot of space here. Education, GitHub, yeah, that's fine. West Governors University, computer science. Yep, no pain, no gain. The worst for me is the delay effect, because it's like you work out and you feel fine, and then the next day you're like, I'm kind of okay, and then it's the second day after that you're just a sludge on the floor, and I'm like, just give me the results up front. I'm impatient. Give me the pain right now, not the delayed one. Okay. Formatting wise, this could use some help. All right, formatting wise, definitely could use some help. There's a lot of empty space between the education and the work experience. There is the TERE. There is a ton of empty space in the skills section and education section. But yeah, I've been seeing a lot more positions pop up just in general, especially for like recruiters. So I'm assuming the market is picking up. Unfortunately, like I said, it's going to only have like a couple of months before it's going to drop off again for the winter, because they ain't much ever happens during the winter. So let's see that. Telling education sponsors. In addition, like Grove data decision making and enhancing operational efficiency by executing. Your bullets are gibberish. Okay, like there. In addition, I don't mean to be cruel, but your bullet points in the work section are gibberish. Like, I understand I am obviously not a developer, but drove data-driven decision-making, enhancing operational efficiency by executing intricate SQL queries, Tableau, dashboards, Python scripts for data extraction and manipulation. That sentence doesn't mean anything. I think even in the context of somebody that is in that field, I would equate that to saying, like, how did you go to the grocery store? And you said, I operated my legs to locomote into a vehicle to partake in the zoomies. So it feels like gibberish to me. So yeah, that doesn't. I mean, the keywords are there, but and I know some of you are in IT, so you can tell me if that sentence actually meant anything. But and then the owner lead developer of okay, gibberish. In addition, okay, cool. I'm glad I'm not like. It's good to have confirmation because I can't. I'm like 89% sure I'm right, but I'm not a coder. So there's that part of me is like, I might have misunderstood the assignment, and I trust no one, especially not myself. So be below for the wiki. This subreddit for how to make your bullet points. So let's see. Projects is fine. Every under each job. Hey, live and let live. How you doing? Live under each position for your work experience. You want at least 3 bullets. There we go. Bullets, and along with each of those bullets being 1 sentence. It can be a long sentence, but it needs to be a full sentence. So, there we go. Papa. I do my special little moddy thing because I am a mod. Oh, there's the button. Alright. Cool. Whew. Yeah, how has y'all been? Any interviews or anything else been going on? Also, I have finally gotten my TikTok and everything else to start working, so I now have posts on social media, and probably obviously going to put that into other stuff so that people can easily do it. Is it just about to offer individuals who have recently immigrated to Canada as a decade of experience and annual salary region for Canada? I mean, okay. In the job market, you don't get what is fair. You get what I'm trying to think of a better way to say that. But yeah, it's you get what you can get. If companies are hiring people at that salary, they will continue to hire at that salary. It's not fair or just, but none of those really mean a lot in the job market. It's you gotta leave your kindness at the door, unfortunately. So, let's see. New hire companies fire me in such a psychopathic way. Let's see. What did they do? This is drama. Not good because it is somebody's real experiences, but let's see. Oh my god. Okay. I am gonna skim that because that's a lot of wordage. So last year, my own manager left the company graduation. 2 weeks ago, my manager bringing out somebody to work for Tesla. That's not a great sign. They have a main office. You rise, schedule breakfast. Everyone doing the breakfast. We get to another guy. During breakfast, encouraged about their kids and hobbies. Okay. After all this done, he says he would like one-on-one. He told me he doesn't think the office is the worst company's time, and he has better people crying. They hand me some papers. I mean, that sucks. That's yeah, that is unnecessarily cruel. People, like, that sucks. You'll do what Mr. J says and take what he gives you and hope it's not a bullet. Yeah, kinda. That's basically the case. I wish it was a case of, look, if we want to have equitable stuff in the job market, we need laws. That is the only thing. You need bargaining power, or you need, like, governmental laws. Otherwise, kindness doesn't exist. You will every once in a while get some kind people, but you remove your emotions in that kind of thing, and that's not great, but it's the market. Uh, so you should never feel like a loser for getting laid off. Layoffs. Yeah, lots of people with degrees and experiences not get jobs because it's not getting a job is not necessarily effort versus reward. You can try your hardest and still fail, and somebody else could barely try and luck out. It's a huge thing in the market. Like, plenty of people spent years of their life training, and then all of a sudden when they graduate, nobody needs that kind of position, and then people that barely coasted through college on like a D will get one because that position's in demand. It's not fair and it's not just, but no individual has the power to change that except with laws or bargaining power with, like, unions and stuff. Even then, it's mainly government that is able to make that just. So, layoffs implicitly imply they are no fault to the employee. Also, implicitly, there we go. AI related classes of degree experience. Probably. I think it will replace a lot of things, but not as much as people anticipate. Truthfully, what has really been an issue in my mind, and I wish I had the direct data to back it up, is that there has been a slow bleeding of good paying jobs, and it's been slowly happening. I think over the last probably couple of years, is a lot of good paying jobs are slowly but surely just not existing anymore because they are getting outsourced, or alternatively being essentially AI or other tech has rendered them redundant. And there is a case of, now that AI is important, you will need more people to handle those AI positions, which makes sense, but I feel like for every 10 jobs it loses, it gives 9, and we've had a bunch of years of that. So the hard part is getting good jobs that stay. I really do think outsourcing is a worse job loss than AI. But at the moment, that's what it is. So, because outsourcing is gutted a lot of jobs. A lot. So they're calling it a white collar recession. Yeah, I mean, look, it's never one thing. I think if anybody takes anything from my channel, it's that it's never quite one thing in the job market. It's not AI, it's not outsourcing, it's not bad practices, it's all of that combined has equaled pain. It's a multiplying force. The market could easily be fine with one of those, but the problem is all of those. And I think that is the biggest issue, is there's not one overarching reason this is bad. It is 100 little small cuts that are bleeding it out. And I feel like I don't see a lot of people talk about that. They always try to find the biggest and the best and the worst, but I feel like it's just a real, like a death of 1,000 cuts, quite frankly. So, let's see. Automod replied. They are a bot. Okay, cool. Yeah, because that's my view. Because, look, if your job gets outsourced, that sucks. But chances are not all of your jobs are going to get outsourced. you know, you could find another company. It would suck. Maybe it wouldn't be as good or maybe a better company, but you could find another. But now we've had companies that are laying everybody off and companies that are outsourcing and companies that are automating stuff with AI, which are some of them are really just glorified chatbots. And now those positions are heavily fought over. So, hey Painted, how you doing? So that is my view. Let's see, 18, a decent paying job. Okay, a pro job that travels, but I'm open to anything. Yeah. Okay. Are you okay with some? Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, how much do call centers pay? Actually, call centers. It's been a while since I looked at that. At least in LA. 21 to 23, 18 to 16. Those are not good. So, especially in LA, those are cruel. Like Santa Clarita for 16 an hour. Gross. Uh, okay. What does that mean? Painted? That could mean a lot of things. I hope that's not okay. I mean, that's not good regardless, but it is like solidly 17 to 23. Yeah, Trader Joe's, I think, is it. Well, look, in California, well, I'm not sure if this is specific to Los Angeles at least, but uh, in Los Angeles now, fast food places will have to pay $20 an hour. So that is the minimum wage for fast food, essentially. There are it's like a giant law, so there's a bunch of other stuff, but the takeaway from that is, you know, they're paying about 20 an hour. It's the minimum wage. So California minimum 20 an hour fast food. I forgot the name of the law. No AI. I don't want to see that. Yeah. See, so it's a 20 an hour wage specifically for fast food. I'm not sure exactly what qualifies as fast food under that. I did not do a giant deep dive into it, but I do know that fast food is starting at 20 an hour. So let's see that. Private investigator could be. File for unemployment. Unemployment don't lie about why you left, so I told the truth. Sent me a cease and desist. Wait. I don't think. Look, I'm not a lawyer, but I feel like if anything, they just made their case worse. If someone is trying to silence you for that, and you tell the truth, I don't think a cease and desist would work. That almost could be a blessing in disguise because they just tanked their own case. If anything, maybe you could do them for harassment now. I don't know. Again, not a lawyer, but let's see. Travel. Private investigator is an option if you have a valid license. Because that was what I did for a bit. Private investigator. It was a really fun job. Never want to do it again. It was rough. I gained like 20 pounds because I was in a car all day, but it was crazy cool. So about a license, I did that for a few months. You basically work under another PI who has all the actual certificates and licenses. I don't remember what they're called. And report stuff to them. So it was you will travel across many places if they have their license in multiple states. So I think that's why the wording was like anything that isn't unemployment, I'll set my lawyers on you. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll be honest, I don't think you should talk about it on stream too much, just in case. I don't want this to be used as evidence against you, but that's, you know, I feel like that's not going to hold up any water. So, but hopefully I am correct about that. And evidence is good. But I will give you an advice is you probably should stop talking about it on the stream just in case. So yeah, because just so that's all. No more. We're good. I don't want you to get in trouble for it. So, anyone try putting a master's where they even enrolled? What? Okay, cool. I don't want you to get in trouble. That's my goal is to help, not harm with this stream. I'm debating if I should put in money and time to spruce up my resume. Obviously, the knowledge is valuable, but all people does it might not get any extra pull. Has bought or tried a free trial. What does that mean? So I feel like they're just saying lying. Like, as a recruiter, I would advise against lying about your degree for jobs that require it. That is part of most companies, part of most large companies' background checks. I feel like they're trying to say everything but lie, and it's very shocking to me. How do I decline that? I guess I don't know. That sounds like a nightmare. Okay. This is the problem of being in VTuber stuff. This comes up on your screen. But it's got a private security guard license. Nice! Those actually pay. I know a couple of people that do that, and they're usually hiring because job's kind of tough. You just sit around and kind of be bored all day. So, roast me. Oh my God. Okay. What is this abomination? All right. Recruiter here to roast your resume. Oh my God. All right. Recruiter here to roast your resume. What is this abomination? First off, this is an abomination. Abomination of formatting. Yeah, free trial style is just. I've never heard someone say lying as free trial style. It just, I'm just gonna use a little free trial style to lie. I don't even know how to use that in a sentence. That's the best way I've ever seen someone say lying. It's unarmed, so don't pay much, but I'll show employees that I can. That is good. A formatting, and it makes my eyes hurt to look at it. My eyes hurt. That's oh my God. So yeah, okay, to be clear, I can make fun of this because they said to roast it. So I saw I'm a shooter the other day, looked at my arms and decided I was a olives. That's a good one. All right. Recent data analytics graduate with a strong background in global design, seeking to leverage my creativity. Global design sounds weird for data analytics. I admittedly, I don't know if that actually is something in data analytics, but I feel like global design would be more on the UI front, so more of a front end. Eager to apply my newly acquired expertise in a dynamic environment. I'm not so strong. They hand them like candy. I rolled a 1, but that roll was just a free trial. Here's the real thing. So yeah, I did a free trial style on my character sheet with I have a nat 40 in strength, so I can easily win. So it's now tough for me to do D&D stuff because I'm actually switching to Pathfinder. So now I'm like having to cancel out my Pathfinder knowledge and go back to D&D to make those jokes. There's a license for a lot. I'm sure you would have to be licensed to hold an arm for a security guard. So yeah. Okay. What is this? Assisting data analytics students guiding their project, facilitating learning. Constructing data dashboards. Okay. Pathfinder 2.0 is great. If you want to, You may want to wait until August because the next core rulebook is coming out. But I am huge into Pathfinder 2.0. Yeah, it's great. Having played 5th edition, 3.5, and Pathfinder 1, so far, with even the very few games I've played, Pathfinder 2.0 is my favorite tabletop system. So, just the way it works is great, especially with how they handle crit success and crit failures is phenomenal in game design. Yeah, I liked 3.5. I honestly really liked 5th edition more than 3.5 because I felt like with 3.5, even though there were a lot of options, you really didn't have a lot of options. Like it would take you like 10 hours to rules lawyer something into something that isn't great. So I don't dislike it. I love the options it had. But I actually prefer 5th edition over 3.5. But I will say 2.0 with Pathfinder is now my favorite. So Pathfinder 2E, as it's called. You can also look all of it at the Nethys Pathfinder. They have like all of it here. So if you ever wanted to look at everything, literally everything on it, you can go to this website, which is is that the right Aeon PDR? Archives of Nethys. So, which is great. It has everything you want, like literally everything. So, all right. Your bullet points don't give me anything. What your bullet points don't really mean anything. Your bullet points don't communicate how you used skills, nor give me skills I would want. Yeah, it's good. This data analysis wasn't going to me. They're focused on data, right? Anything. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like I don't points. You want. Stop. Is there a way for me to disable this function because I keep fat fingering F11? There's no way I'm going to be good enough to do Java coding and stuff. JavaScript coding. Just let me want. Uh, once, like your picture is doesn't belong on a resume. Uh, I just wish, you know what? I'm gonna literally. Oh God, computer. Like, do I know how to use a computer? Yes. Do I fat finger all the wrong keys in a hyperactive fit of chaos? Also, yes. So I'm gonna put yours right here. Give me the skills I want. And a viewer in my stream said the following that I agree with. Yeah. Your picture doesn't belong in a resume. I don't know why. I mean, it is popular, I think, in places like India, but like, my issue is I don't know if it's actually popular or people assume it's popular and put it on. I've really seen jobs that want a photo of me. Typically, once they do, they regret it and they're like, "Nope, never mind. I don't want that photo." Ew, ew, ew. So, but I mean, I guess if it was for customer service, but I feel like that would go against a lot of laws. I kind of want to credit you, but that's fine. So, once, like, it reads like nothing. Like, I am going to be anonymous. This person is going to be angry at you, Lee, not me. So, what else? I like doing at least 3. Okay. Single column, single column, single column. Use a single column for your resume, not double. Heaven forbid you use triple. If you're a model and actor, yeah, I mean that makes sense. If you visually is a key component of the job, that is an exception to the rule of just that. I do know that. I haven't worked in any of those jobs that would require it, I have had to look at people's ID to confirm that who they were is who they are, but that's different. That's after you're hired, and that's just to do the I-9 process, which everybody I-9s are they're not hard, but they take so much time, and so many people mess up I-9s. I've spent too many times doing I-9s. I despise them with passion, and because I will never escape I-9s. That is the most common mess up in new hires. And making sure that is, I believe that is, yeah, it's I-9. That's the form. Lose the summary. It doesn't help. All right. Use the below blueprint for how to structure your resume. Bullets. And then we put all of these in a little bullet again. All right. Okay. Feels like a good way to get discriminated against. Yeah, I mean I think it is too. That's why it's not okay to have those pictures. And like, you will be able to send in your ID for I-9s because that is a separate issue. That is a United States government needs that information, but that is after hire. And if anybody sent in the appropriate information and they fired you based on the picture of your ID, that would be a lawsuit. So much. That's crazy. So let's see. Let's do pop. Geez, there's a lot here. I mean, ridiculous. All right. So, full disclosure, I am a US-based recruiter, so the EU may do things a little different, but my best educated guess is following the above will help land you more interviews. Ta-da! All right. Phone? No. Okay. That one is good. Let's see. Okay. Try and think of a new game plan. If you applied to, as a recruiter, if you applied to 1K jobs and not gotten a single interview, or even 10, I would do the following. I hate these ads. Ugh. What was the ad? How bad was it? I need to know. I can't see them. I don't see it. Man, it'd be weird if the streamer, I guess, could see the ad. That would be bizarre now that I think about it. But yeah, what was it? Because I know you always get like horrible ads that are slightly insulting. So, as a recruiter, if you pledge to retain, check your contact information. That is my first thing. The following in order. First, check your contact information. Too many times have I found a perfect candidate in our that applied to our ATS that has no contact information, or their number goes straight to voicemail, and the voicemail is full, or the email bounces. Yeah, I mean, look, there's something critically wrong, order, as there is something critically wrong with your search. If you have applied to 1,000 jobs within a year and got rejected with no interviews, that's something is off. I mean, really, if it's over 75 to specific 75 to one interview, I think it's off unless you're specifically applying to new grad entry level positions that are remote. Because okay, then your ratio was going to be higher, but still, like 1,000 and got rejected or no phone call, something is off. So I was been driving around in trucks and motorcycles, going to different houses, yelling, "Can blank come out to play?" with a grown man running out the door. That sounds like an interesting time. I mean, because they don't know, right? Like I can understand why they would wait a year. And I don't think it's good, but I can at least understand where they're coming from, Brad, because they may have heard, right? Let's say they've heard the job market is bad. So they've heard that it's bad. They don't know what they're doing. They applied to 1,000 jobs and then nothing got back. Also, what is 1,000 divided by 52? 19. That does mean they were applying to 19 a week, which isn't a lot, but still, something is critically wrong. Like, they may have thought this is like the normal because people keep hearing how bad it is. So, I guess the resume was getting bites and it's getting none lately. Do you have the volume to be sure? Because it could be something. Make sure you're still sending the correct one, because sometimes you might accidentally send the wrong one. Or alternatively, maybe something has changed in the contact information, or you haven't had enough to base it on that. So, rain just shut down. It also could be that resume was good for a different industry painted and not the industry you're still applying to. There's a lot it could be. So, I am not going to have Help Me Write powered by Google. Please stop. Disable. I do not need that. I need spell checker, but I do not need you to write my own sentences for me. So, that could be it. Also, make sure the resume is right for the type of jobs. And it could just be a lull. That's why it's kind of hard to tell. Like, if it's just been a week and nothing, you really want to do it like every month. I think like every month is safe because like it could just be an off week, quite frankly. But if it's off month, then something is off. Unless it's November, December, because then nothing. And there has been a very big wave in March. March is April of this year. So now that it's June, it's going to slow down a little bit, but then it's going to bump back up again in September. So it does go in waves and cycles of the amount. So, and I feel like it's peaking. It's starting to get to the point where there's going to be more jobs, a lot more, but they're not quite there yet. So, check. Let's see. I mean, I'm trying to think because without seeing the resume, did they say anything else here? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, check that you're. Well, I mean that might be the answer. There is you're not as qualified, so you're not going to get as many responses back. That's just how that works, unfortunately. Re-look at your resume and the jobs you are applying to. It could be your resume is not showing the right qualifications / keywords that those jobs need. Look at your resume and the job family you are applying to. If the above two are true, then you really need to redo your resume. So, boop, boop, boop. All right. Roast my resume. Don't hold back, as this person said. Whew. Need a couple of seconds. All right. I've been doing a lot of paperwork today. So. Whew. Words. So many words. Oh. All right. Words are done. Let's look. See what it is. Brain stopped working. What was I gonna do? I'm gonna look at recruiter positions that were posted recently, because I think that is going to get a very good recruiter. So, in the last week specifically, is 1,000. So in the last week, there has been 1,000 new recruiting positions, over 1,000. And it looks like these are more manager positions, which to me is very much applying that in these industries, there's going to be probably about 20 times this number of jobs that they're going to be promoting, because you don't really hire a recruiter if you only have 3 roles. So Blue Rock Search is going to be an independent company, I imagine. This is like hybrid in Louisville. Where's Louisville? Is Louisville? Wait, it doesn't say a state. Where's Louisville? Kentucky. Okay. Yep, you guessed it right. I feel that, Kit. At this point, though, I'm looking at roles with a lower barrier to entry. Yeah. I mean, it's not good. You all are right. Everybody was correct in Kentucky, and I was incorrect. I was like, Louisiana? So, no, not at all. It was Kentucky. But look, these are... So, Pep Boys is going to be hiring. And, like, look, this is a good way to check your industry. So, you can do recruiter and let's do IT. Sometimes they call them or technical recruiter. So there's 100 new technical recruiters, so basically IT positions in the last week. This is a third-party recruiting firm because it says recruiting. If it says recruiting, it's probably third-party. I've not really met a first-party company that would have recruiting, although I guess if they're hiring for like an HR role at a third-party recruiting firm, that would be, but that's going to be highly specific and probably not related to anything y'all are going to care about. So Optomi, which I'm going to guess is also a contracting position. And Sourcing. So a lot of people are hiring recruiters, and it looks like especially the third party, especially in the IT. So this does show to me that recruiting is getting better, which means the other market is getting better. Because I know before there were much less. Also, this is a terrible pay. Oh my god, I made more than this like 8 years ago at my first job at recruiting. Oh, okay. They have an uncapped commission structure. That makes sense then. There we go. If it's base with uncapped commission, then that's actually... I take it back, Source. I'm sorry. I should have read the full thing. That is not bad at all. So, that actually would be better than what I had. And they have the benefits, which it should. Accessing limited development, or reward trip. But everything wants it on site, which is hilarious to me, because recruiting is one of those things that like you do not need to be on site for. So, I've never met on site being good for that. Yeah, fast paced. All right, so yeah, this is, you know what? Let's look at this recruiter, and then let's look at Aaron. Vegas. In the past week, recruiter. Epic is located in Wisconsin. Bachelor's degree, history, professional. Yeah, I mean, Look, I'll be honest with you, Painted. You might be able to get a recruiter in Vegas. There are 65 openings in the last week. High school diploma. Uh, let's see. Manager of patient recruiting. I mean, some of these are pretty higher level, but it's actually solid if you can get one with a base pay. Uh, transportation, GED, right? Yeah. This is. So now the question is: are these going to be full commission jobs, or are these going to be actual, like, you know, base salary positions? Is the question, or base with commission? Let's see, working conditions. Uh, they probably want to know if you have a license. I don't know, to go to the clients. Sometimes people want the recruiters on site. I don't know. They want to show you the culture so you can tell them, and I've never found that to be helpful. Every time I've went on site, it hasn't led to any more success, at least for me. So, but let's see. This position is not considering from New York International Exchange. Yep, that's fair. By that, it's not fair. Uh, yeah, sometimes, not always. So, if you're an internal recruiter for like an RPO, they may want you to go to the various sites to meet the managers. And I understand the principle is they want to make sure that you're more, you want to show that you want the client to know you, which I think is good, but it's, I don't know, it's never really mattered too much in my. I did want to do a career fair. That was the one thing I've never gotten to do. Every time it was about to happen, the career day kept getting canceled. And I wanted to put it so I could put it in a feather in my hat, and I never got to do that. So, this is one of the things in my recruiting career I have not done, which I wanted to do. So, let's see. Yeah, but like, that's partly. I would give this a shot. You might be able to get a recruiter position. Probably the more entry level ones, but they're starting to pick up, so they're going to need more people. And there's a lot of people that left. So, and you typically only need a bachelor's, if that. Because, like, these are. Yeah, you can do this whatever. Also, if we, it looks like we may have some new people in chat. If you wanted a resume review or roast, let me know. Because it's very light this week. I forgot to do marketing because I was doing a lot of other paperwork. So much paperwork. And just doing boring medical doctor stuff. So, all right, let's see. So slow stream. It's a slow stream. Ba 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 boom boom. What is it? But enable push. I don't want that, please. I get enough things already. All right. Thanks. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Feel free to resubmit after you do. Ta-da. All right. This is the one word I wish would go away in corporate. I know there's always a buzzword, but I wish disrupting would go away because I always hear it and it means nothing. I hate hearing the word disrupting. I want less disruption. I am in my 30s. Less disruption is good. Let's see. Dealing with job hunting or graduating from college. Yeah, the market is bad. Data administration, IT jobs, probably too little over 9 jobs now. I mean, that's so broad. I don't know how to help with that. Yeah, I guess, what other corporate slangs do you wish would go away? I think disrupting is mine. There was another one I hated so much. Maybe revolutionary, because it's so overused that it means nothing, and you'll see it to like, we revolutionized our email, and they just added like an emoji or something. I disrupt everywhere I go. Sir, you're making a scene. Yeah, this is a Wendy's, sir. Please stop disrupting. So, let's see. Yeah, that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to make one of these AMA things. I hate to hit the ground running in fast-paced work. That was it. Yep, you got it. I hate fast-paced because every job has fast-paced. And there are some genuinely fast-paced jobs, but all jobs cannot be fast-paced, or else no job is fast-paced. Yeah, I do not like fast-paced, the wording, because it never gives you, it doesn't give the candidate any information either. Like, that is one of my problems with recruiting, is you will routinely see high volume. But no one can agree what high volume is. Fast paced means you're making bad decisions quickly. You know what? No, I'm gonna argue with that one. Because there is a technique to failing fast, and I actually do believe in failing fast. That has actually very much helped my recruiting career, is failing fast, and it has helped me fill a lot of positions. So making bad decisions quickly is better than making them slowly. As long as you learn from them quickly, that is also the correlation to that. So, but I don't like fast pace, because what is fast pace? Like everybody try to mention what you think fast paced actually is in chat, because I don't know. I truly don't know, because every job says it. And does fast paced means your work, like, and companies want you to work for 8 hours straight along with the break too. So that doesn't apply with that either. A job-based job. Yep, a job-based job. I am. Tell them I love it. I mean, I guess it could apply that, but like it doesn't. I don't. It doesn't mean anything. Like I think it means nothing. I think that literally means nothing nowadays. Manager screaming conflicting instructions and timelines, no clear priority because everything is a priority. Yeah, I mean, like, everyone has a different opinion. There's job-paced job. There is faster than the other people. Then they kind of want a rock star or superstar, which I also kind of hate that. So, yeah, but I mean, I've worked in places that are supposed to be fast-paced, and that's not it. Like, look, we're even arguing about the joke definition of it. I don't think it exists. It is like a snipe hunt of the recruiting world is fast-paced. Because, like, can anybody identify what a slow-paced job would be? I know there are some, because, like, I was a front desk clerk at a gymnastics gym once for part-time, and that was relatively slow-paced. But that's like it. That's just not a lot of volume. So my last job, yeah, it's. Let's see, what's a good place to do this? So, posts must be AMAs. AMA commenters must ask questions and answer questions in the thread. What is a reasonable time frame for this? Rockstar roles need to come with groupies, drugs, and stage leggings. We're looking for a rock star and are willing to pay in rockstar stuff. I looked up lighthouse keepers, and apparently it's not super fast paced, but you need to be very on point for safety, and you might have to rescue people from sea. Okay, that tracks. I didn't think of that, but that makes a lot of sense. And truthfully, this is where I also have a problem with the term fast paced. Is a lot of jobs are not constant work at fast paced, but slow, fast, and they have peaks. And when you're at the peak, you need to be ready to do everything, and then there's a wind down period. So, like firemen and firewomen, that is a tough job that needs to be very fast paced. But also, if there's nothing that requires them, they may spend the whole shift watching movies until something happens and they got to gear up in an instant. So, Yeah, slow, fast. So, uh, hurry up and wait. Yeah, I mean, it could be paced, but whenever I speak with managers, I try to get them to drop that because it just doesn't. Candidates don't like to see it. Nobody is like, oh boy, paced, hooray. Uh, so it doesn't help with candidate attraction, and it doesn't really mean anything, and it's not really something you can like easily write on a resume for most people. So yeah, left alone and clean the room once with clock, no sitting, no phone. Yeah, I mean, but people with EMTs and firemen and women, they can use their phones and they can watch movies. When I was in college ages ago, I took an EMT course and we were waiting at the station, and I watched Sleepy Hollow on my before. And then went on a ride along to like two or three things like 30 minutes before I was supposed to leave. So I was with them for a bit. So must enjoy prioritizing competing deadlines in a fast-paced environment. Yeah, I think that's better at least because I think prioritizing is something that is lacking in a lot of job descriptions, but you do need to triage stuff. Jitters mandatory. I like that. Yeah, usually does result from poor planning, but see, I hate the term fast-paced. I think that is a term that needs to go away. Slow, fast, or prioritizing things I think is very different, and that gives a different thing because there are jobs that are chaotic and the manager can't control that because it's the people above them say no. So, and jobs like EMT that is fast slow, or hurry up and wait, or 7 hours of your shift is going to be slow, but that 1 hour you need to be on top of everything, and that gives a better indication to the candidates too. So I'm gonna vote that one. That's my term I wish would go away, is fast pace. So second runner up is multitask, because I've never seen a job saying I specifically want people that can't multitask. That would be weird. Oh, allergies. Okay, so how do you do this? When should I do this? It looks like I should do this in the morning. Answer questions, no lever bagel tree run up harassment, illegal contact. No post advertising or asking for help. Wow, there's a lot of these. These are crazy. Okay, I want to do this Wednesday. I'm gonna make a note, or Thursday. All right, let me just make a note so that I can do that on Thursday. I'll make an AMA for recruiter. Cool. Just be single tasking. Counterpoint to that. You still have to manage the crowd. You have to determine that it's safe to entry. You have to then make sure you're not getting kicked out at. I feel like it's not just single tasking. So, but also fair. I'm also getting water over when I get my break. This room does not get cooled down that much. Best jobs for angry people who hate them all. Jobs are best. Having psychological support not needed. Jobs for angry people. What would be a job? Customer service? It should be. No, it makes you angry at people and hate them all. It doesn't actually, you're not allowed to do that, President. Man, I'm trying to think if there actually is something. Oh, you know what? I think this counts. Yeah, probably debt collector. Along with MLM salesman. The second place, Parks and Rec. Yeah. So it's an interesting one. Good paying jobs that requires physical engagement. Don't actually know because I'm more of a blue collar, white collar recruiter. Oh, blue collar would be physical stuff. Manufacturing, maybe. Uh, maybe like the oil rig people. Yeah, they would do that. I think they make a lot of money. So, what is getting so impossible right now? All right, been searching the last 2 months. That's actually not a terrible long time. Only for food service. I've been looking for food service. So I fill out application. I've got a rejection, no feedback. I've gotten 2 interviews, 1 feedback. Let's see. So, why is getting a job so impossible? Heavy machinery, yeah. Well, that does work. Like, linemen and like operators at those plants. Like for PPG, I used to recruit a lot of people for that type of position, so they would actually like PPG a lot. So, um, as a recruiter, I need to stop just saying as a recruiter. Let me tell you why the job market sucks right now. First off, every time I say recruiters, people don't like that. So, but whatever. I'm not here to make friends. That's not true. I am here to make friends, but I'm also here to tell the truth. So, uh, 3 roles have been disabled. That means my ad is water time. Water time. And back. Wait, you don't know what they're trying to sell you? That's a bad ad then. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. Haha. All right. Uh, the overarching issue is there are more people than jobs, which means competition is fierce. Eye drops. Okay. Eye drops. Got it. I don't think I've ever been like actively, I need to know the brand of eye drops. Okay, for one, tons of people and not many jobs means companies get very picky. I do have two dries, but a lot of allergies. Yeah, me and my allergies too. I don't have dry eyes though, luckily. It's just all that nasal thing that you said last stream, whose name I can't remember. It's whatever. Tons of people, not many times, come together. They move forward to interviews. When companies get very picky, the interview process gets very icky. Gets icky. Haha. Bad rhyme aside, companies start valuing. Companies stop valuing better processes because they don't care if people drop out. They have more waiting to interview. They put silver in the eye drops. Is that good for eyes? I don't know enough about eyes to know anything about that topic. I feel like silver isn't good, but I don't know. Okay, cool. I want to be confirmed on that one. When companies, as there are more jobs than people, especially more people than jobs, more people than jobs, especially good high paying and or entry level jobs, companies stop recruitment. Companies start letting go of recruiters, which means no one is there to move you forward or find the hidden gem amongst hundreds of resumes. And the recruiters who ultimately calls buying this. That's great. That's what I want from eye drops. That's brutal. People and jobs. So the recruiters who are still employed are flooded with more paperwork than they can handle, which slows everything down. Those are some of the reasons it sucks to find a job right now. As a recruiter, I can tell you that the market is getting better, but better is relative, and it will probably be late September to early February of next year before things get better. Noticeably better for the majority of people. Things get noticeably better for most people. Although, admittedly, the market is very hard to predict. Because, like, you could be doing absolutely fine, and then all of a sudden a catastrophe happens, and then the market shifts. So, I need to stop forgetting to upvote people when I apply to their things. Huh. What is this person? I might steal their formatting. I don't think anybody can hear this. What is he adding? Who is this person? This is my competition. No, that's very true. I mean, the more people that are out of work are very much going to be the ones that are going to be like riots. Like, if people are happy and fed and employed, they're probably not going to, surely cause riots. Also, my competition is named Lee. Who are you? Mr. Competition. What? Okay, this is completely different, but this man does put a lot of content. Huh. Well. Anyway. Hi, Gizmo. They only put one line for each job. Happy people do less bad things. Yeah. Sorry, you mean for the... I zoned out and got hyper-focused. Which part were you talking about, Gizmo? Also, welcome to the chat. And let me know if you want your resume reviewed. So, Oh, in that video? Okay, they only put one line for each job. I don't even know what they were trying to do. I don't have my sound on, but it doesn't seem like they were a recruiter. It seems like they're like a influencer person, which I guess I'm trying to be right now, but whatever. So I couldn't actually see what line they were doing. So uh back in the days when everyone everything's so fake. Yeah, that's true. LinkedIn is scary. Asking for a raise. It's kind of tough. Let's see. So from May to present, that is 3 months. So that's about 100 a month, which is going to be about 25 a week, which is not a ton. I've applied to 300 jobs. I was networking with people, built solid connections, fixed my resume, did a resume to tailor to jobs. So app within 24 hours. But I felt very disappointed to see that all the companies have finalized their interns. Oh yeah, internships. I'm doing my MS. Okay, so internships are one of the most coveted and impacted jobs out there. Which there is that? Jobs. 300 applications over 3 months is going to equate to about 25 applications a week, which is not enough for internships. Internships are brutal. Those are so tough. So, also, Gizmo, question, where did you find me from? I'm trying to find where people find me from so I can find more people. So, if you could let me know, that would be appreciated. They did 300 from last May. Oh, from last May? Oh, you're right. I missed that. My dyslexia kicked in. That is that. So that's like 15 months. So that would be 15 times 4 is 60. Of course. 60, and then 300 divided by 60 is 5 resumes a week. So I think it was through Reddit. Okay, no, that's fair. I'm glad you could finally catch us. So welcome aboard to the Headless Gang, and I hope to impart some knowledge so that it helps in your search, or at least entertain you a little bit. So, and I always appreciate more people coming on. All right, so this changes my math. That is about 5 per week. 300 applications since May 2023 is about 5. That was what I said, right? 5. Yeah, 5. 5 applications. Thank you, Live and Let Live. I appreciate it. 5 applications. I'm just gonna have to redo this. My brain. Okay, applications per week, which, considering how tough those roles are, is nowhere near enough. Even with a solid resume, the stream is great, the spelling isn't. Resume, 100 applications a month may not be enough. If you are applying to IT internships, that number may need to increase even more. So, at least in the United States. Yeah, welcome. Like, now that you've finally caught up to the stream, what questions would you like to ask, if any? I am here to answer thine questions. AY is your coworker now. It's not. For her remotely interview with a company, something new, we don't want to start. It's such an old meme too, and that's what gets me. Is this stuff is just so old. Like, it's not even relevant anymore. I feel like if you just, I don't know why companies don't offer somebody like, hey, make the best meme with our product, winner gets $100, and like you get so much money and so many people. Let's see. After another negative employment experience, I've said that it's undesirable. That's not true. Working just can suck. How can I punch this resume up? I don't know if that word works. U.S. job opening hits lowest since February. Yeah, that part. Well, okay, so that tracks a bit. I still think it's picking up towards the end of this year, though. I will be honest. But again, I'm really only able to predict 3 months in advance. I think that is the maximum amount I can realistically know. Everything after that is just best educated guess. So, best educated guess, September to February of next year. But 3 weeks from now, it's barely going to pick up because I think we are. When do most companies have their quarters? Most companies have their quarterly business reports every 3 months. I'm aware every 3 months, but some of them don't. Okay, I know it's every 3 months. Uh, say which are the fiscal quarters for most companies? I guess since things pick up in February, it's still going to be January is when they get their budget. They do, but then that company did it earlier. So 5th would be May, which tracks. So the next fiscal would be July, which then tracks with September. Okay, so this tracks according to what I believe is going to be the case, which is when companies do their quarterly business reports. So when companies do their quarterly business reports every quarter, that is when they get budget for hiring and stuff. But that stuff takes a while to sort of like filter in. So February is not when companies do quarterly business reports. Usually it's end of December, early January, but you don't see those effects until February and April. Just like how at the end of April, they'll probably do another business report, which is going to translate into May is about the time that stuff trickles down into it. What short-term jobs as political agitators, agent provocateurs pay best this fall? I think they would pay you in rubles. I think that's the primary issue. So if you can exchange that for rubles, you might be okay. But realistically, things for presidential campaigns don't really... I think it was... Okay, so this is not a recruiting thing, so don't quote me on this, but I think it was like 60 to 80% of presidential candidates' expenditures happen within the 3 to 4 weeks before the election. So all that money they're raising is typically spent within a month of the actual of November. So I guess, October. So to me, that is when, if you actually wanted to work on a political campaign, that is probably the chance. I know what you're saying was a joke answer, and it was kind of funny. But from a taking this too seriously aspect, your best shot would be to sort of apply in June when they are probably hiring for that part. So I guess we're starting to go there, although maybe they hire a month or two before. But yeah, most of that budget is spent like 4 weeks before the election. So that's like the crazy amount of that. Oil and gas. All right, Canada Island looking working. Random VTubers popping up. So between now and then, yeah, essentially, I think realistically, so like, okay, this is gonna be my guess of how they structure their campaigns based on corporate stuff. They need the budget for it, and they've probably starting to really hammer home getting the budget, but there is going to be like, just for like the DMC or the RNC, going to be someone whose position is to sort of corral all that, and that is usually the DNC and the RNC in general. They are the ones who sort of, if they're doing their job right, corral the funding, and I assume there's going to be a head honcho who is doing that. They are probably right now already hired somebody maybe below them, and it's those people who are going to do it individual states. So let's see if we can even do election. I wonder if there is any election stuff. So let's do United States. So communication and media. Well, that's, yeah, director of business development, project coordinator. I would assume realistically, if I'm using this as a semi joke, if you want to work in the political campaign, your best bet would probably be in August. I'm assuming August or late July is probably when they're going to start hiring for that kind of thing. That is my guess. So, because that's when they spend the most money. They've prepped for it, they've got their stuff, they have the contenders, and technically, they would have recruiters too, but also technically, they haven't gotten the nomination yet, if you remember. I don't think they actually get. Yeah, there are door knockers. Like, we could even, like, uh, work on a presidential campaign marketing, uh, political campaigns, 10 political, get a job in a campaign. I wonder, you know what? Let's see. It's the DNC, right? Let's just look for the Democratic one. Democratic National Convention, DNC, is through August. So, jobs, it would be. Canvassing, yeah, that is the right word. So, here, look, they are looking for an influencer for operations in Chicago. So they're starting their hiring. Asset manager, director of people might have actually been very on the money, and that they've already hired the head honchos and now they're doing the people below it. Because this looks like, from August, boom, 19th and 22nd, nominated President Joe Biden. See, Operation Coordinator join our team to support our influencer hiring manager and partnership campaigns in this role. Oh, that's for their influencers. Okay, if you thrive in a social environment and have a passion for influencer marketing, I guess who would handle it? Because this is specifically for the convention. I'm blanking. Is there a website specifically for the Democrats? I'm just doing Democrats because, like, no, I am a Democrat. So, I have to I think that is pretty obvious based on my political leanings. Democrats. What is their site? I forgot their site name. Website. I mean, they've got to have, like, an actual website. Okay, here it is. It's just Democrat. All right. I don't care about the. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Take action. Depending on who we are. Usually at the bottom. Take action. Vote. Shop. Okay. Work with us. This would probably be it. Let's see. Here it is. We're hiring. Yeah, they kind of do. Some of them do. Okay, so budgets, collations. This would probably be one of them. Finance. A lot of finance jobs. Operations, HR specialist, political operations director. Might be it. There's a lot of jobs here. Do they work with recruiters? I'll find somebody for them. IT procurement manager, deputy information. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be one of these people. I haven't really done political jobs is not something I have ever done in my career. I've been strictly corporate. So, team opportunities for demo training, special states from messaging, fundraising, manage high-level intra and intra-departmental projects, coordinate and track request. I saw a PM role. Was it? See, maybe that was it. Where's the project manager? Project. There it is. Good catch. Micro influencers through channel. Support programs, volunteer trackers to attend, researching ballot access, following candidate events. I'm just kind of shocked these roles are still open, honestly. I thought they would have hired some of these already. But I guess most of them would probably be in the party already. This is a lot of job openings. Associate Director of People in Chicago. Right, because that's where that's going to be. Okay. Herder of the Influencers. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that would be one of their jobs. I mean, that is technically the political whip of a party is specifically to herd all the other Congress people to voting the way that that party wants. So most of politics is just hurting people of one way or another. So, deep knowledge of Google Suite, experience working with and creating spreadsheets. Oh, come on, man. This is such a bad. Okay, so this would actually be it because look, it ends November 15th. So you don't need this job once the. This is probably. I guess it would all be under political organizing. Does this also end? Yeah. Okay, so they're now actually doing the hiring for November, which, as a recruiter and how long these things can take, I feel like that's a lot of openings. I mean, I thought they would have done it in advance, but anyway, like it when I roast them. Okay, well, I mean, heck, you want to apply for, I'm sure the Republicans have the equivalent of this, but these are all open positions. So, uh, yeah, I like roasting roles because they're bad and they can be good. Also, I've screwed up on posting roles too, and people have had to roast me. So it happens when you're doing a large volume. Mistakes can happen, and I think roasting them can get to the right people and make things better. So, I mean, look, do this. Heck, this would be kind of cool. I don't think I would I even be able to apply for the HR position? I would be interested in that. I mean, it depends on if HR is specifically recruiting or if it's human resources. 'Cause those are, I still maintain that those are very different. Oh no, this is in Washington. It's not gonna happen. Nope. Customer service. Excuse me. Oh god, computer, please stop this. Just let me do that. Okay, there we go. Stop updating my late execute or offer entering HR. It's a lot of work for those HR people because like these all need to be filled before November 15th because they need to be doing their jobs by, I'm gonna say, early August, maybe that. So like that's a lot. That's quite a bit actually. Jeez, who is their recruiter? This is a question I don't actually know. Is who's their recruiter? Do they have a recruiter? Is it just going to be with the? It might just be the HR people, which I think is a fence-based hiring process. I mean, look, this, and I know high volume means nothing, but this would be high volume if you have to fill all of these in like a month. Actually, how many are they? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't want to count. Yeah, this would be pretty high volume. Like, I filled 75, I think, in a month was my max. Maybe it was 58. But these are highly specified roles. So these are not easy fills. These are, yeah, it would be a fast paced. I mean, look, apply. I mean, if people can apply to this, they do have remote roles. And truthfully, I wonder how much traction actually gets there. Because people that are necessarily passionate about something are not necessarily the same people that are going to be good about it. So it's entirely possible that someone who doesn't really care about politics would do a better job than somebody who does. And I try to even coach my hiring managers on that. Be like, hey, look, just because they are not passionate doesn't mean they are passionate about their job, not necessarily the company. They may actually do a better job than someone who is. And because passion does not equate to skills. It's got like a little bonus to it, but you still gotta, do the others. So they specifically have a vertical video producer. Huh. Sorry, these are cool. I've never actually seen this. I'm geeking out over here. So yeah, there it is. Well, I mean, apply. Maybe you guys could do some of these. I don't know. I'm not deeply looking at all of these, so that's kind of crazy. All right, I got super distracted. There's an ad coming in 30 seconds. I wanted to warn you all. So after that, I'm going to be doing a resume roast of somebody who's set it up, so I can send that to them, and then we'll just geek out for the rest of the stream, probably. As a recruiter, I can tell you that most companies, not just IT, hire on the following schedule. Let's see, mid-Feb to January to mid-Feb, biggest hires of the year. Then normal throughout the year, with the exception of a boost in hires in September and in May and September. But not as big as the Jan to Feb hires. Let's see, late October to January. Hires in May and December not as big as the middle of January to February hires. February hires. I hate February as a word because I can never spell it with dyslexia. That and Wednesday will never cease to trip me up. I don't know why, but Wednesday and February break me. Oh good, an ad that is telling people to quit vaping. It's good. So, mid-January, middle of January to February hires, late October to January to early... Okay, good. That makes me not feel alone. Early January. Like, I think I once spelled anti-disestablishmentarianism correct, and then in the next word could not spell Wednesday. Because it's not Wednesday, it's like Wednesday. And then February is February in my mind. I know that's not right, but it's the dyslexia. A wasteland of opportunities where barely anything gets done or anyone gets support. That is usually the case year after year in most industries. Wednesday and February. Ooh, the February might help. I do understand Wednesday, but it breaks. I can't. No, I spent time on this comment. You will accept my comment. Okay, there we go. Hooray. So. Alright, before I lose my energy, I am gonna do the resume roast. Do I have this in the background the whole darn time? Alright, let me pull this up real quick. Oh, that wasn't going. Let's see, who is this person? Let me make sure. Laboratory. They are laboratory. They actually didn't give me a lot of information. From a copy of laboratory. No, that it's not right. Oh, that's why. Okay. Token splash. Is it you that put it in? Painted? Yeah, it's like the Norse gods. What is going on with this? Is this right? Did I mess up? Okay, that is yours. You just put a different thing and I got confused. For your... Okay, cool. So I got very confused for a second with what this was. So, uh, got it. Okay, so I will pretend to do your resume roast as if I did not know you then, and then I will link this probably tomorrow and send it to you. So this is for your admin jobs, right? I'm assuming. Oh, you're not prepared. I don't know. You don't see it. Okay. Let me pull this up. So, computer, please. I have uh things to do, and that is this. This is the thing. So, okay. Let me pull this up. This one, was this the one you wanted for the quick review that I post to stuff? Yeah, your name shouldn't be there. It should be this one. Okay. So what jobs are you looking for with this first? Because I want to make sure I do this right, since it's just the same ones. But I do see what you're doing and which way you were doing it. That is fine. Bio or clinical research jobs. Okay, that's fair. So let's do Las Vegas. Rain, Las Vegas. Did I not? It's LA. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, then that's fine. I don't need to go over it again. If it's also in this format is I don't think I'm ready to show people this format yet because it's still pretty tough for me to start to explain it. So, but yeah, that's fine. Cool. Then I will go over. I'm not quite sure what else, but I do want to keep going because I have some amount of energy. So I'll just keep doing this and probably talk about Pathfinder. I guess who was interested in playing Pathfinder? I know not everybody is of that much of a geek, but I highly recommend Pathfinder 2.0. It is both more mathy and less mathy than 5e at some points. It is definitely has a learning curve, but once you I'm not gonna run one yet. I want to be clear, but because I got other things I need to do before I run a campaign. But yeah, it's really good. What do you know about the system? I guess because I think it's really good. Also, I understand if everybody else drops off because it's you know different. I think if I ever get a lot of people, I would definitely do some kind of like maybe game. I have DM before, but I need to make sure to support myself first. Cool. So Archives of Nethys is where you want to go for that. First off, has like everything, and there's a bunch of stuff that's different. It's really not just. I think it's as different as 5.0 is to 3.5, and but in a completely different way. So it is a very different system. And I think one of there are two things, there's a lot of things, but two of the things that I very much like about the system is, this is the geekiest thing I've done about it. I talk about recruiting all day long, is how they handle critical hits and misses and how they use actions, which completely changes the game and honestly makes it way better from a tactical standpoint. I also would recommend always using a map for Pathfinder. I don't think it's the kind of game you can do theater of the mind in. You will definitely need a map. As an example, critical hits and critical misses are handled very differently. Let's assume as a fighter or whatever, you're going to do an attack on someone's AC, which is armor class, right? So let's say you're doing an attack on an 18 AC. and you add your modifiers, and you get a 19, right? That's going to be a hit. Understandable. The way Pathfinder works different is every action has 4 degrees of success or failure instead of the normal 2. So 5th edition, so D&D, it has basically crit success, and that's mainly on like attacks, which is double damage, success, failure. The way Pathfinder works is it has crit success, failure, crit failure. And the way it handles it is if you are 10 points above the check, you crit success. If you are 10 points below, you crit fail. So, and also rolling a 20 and a 1 makes it easier. They're separate rules, but this is easier to explain for now. So every single almost every single check in the game has basically things for success, failure, crit failure, and a crit success. And since almost every single roll can be a crit success, it means adding more numbers to your die roll is more impactful, because the difference between a nat 20 and like a success is like nothing, right? Like if you rolled a 19 and got a 29 against their 18 AC, you still did the same damage as if you just rolled an 18, but not in Pathfinder. In Pathfinder, if you're 10 above, you crit. If you're 10 below, you crit fail. So, as an example of a trip, is like success, you trip them. Crit success is you trip them and it does a little damage. Failure, nothing happens. Crit failure, you drop the weapon you're holding or you get tripped yourself. And it really matters because all those numbers adding together is like you could super focus on something and it feels good because you're going to crit more. Like you could crit on an 18 if you have like high enough stuff, which I think is really good. In addition, what I think they do differently is most every monster in the game has a weakness in one of these 4 stats. And most of the actual abilities will target a different one. So some monsters may be strong in AC, Fort, and Reflex, but weak will. So you can specifically target it. And as an example, there's a spell called Fear, which I think is a very great example of what it does, is if you crit success, they get a -3 to everything. If you succeed, they get a -2 to everything. If they fail, sorry, this should be reversed. So the way it works is they roll. So this is like against a will save. So if the enemy critically fails your save, they get a -3 to everything. If the enemy fails your save, they get a -2 to everything. If they succeed, they get a -1 to everything. And if they crit success, no effect. Which means it feels good when an enemy crit fails on a spell too, rather than just failing. And since the difference is 10 rather than say like 20, every roll matters a little bit more. And you can then target a specific thing, because some monsters are weak to AC but strong in will, or weak in fort, or weak in reflex, which I think is great. The other thing is every single person at the start of their turn gets 3 actions. And those actions can be used to do a bunch of stuff. Like, you can use one of those to move, you can use one of those to, take an item out, whatever. And you can use one of those to attack, which also means you can attack 3 times in a row as a marshal, because it only uses 1 action. And you get a negative modifier to your attacks each time. So your first attack may crit, but your next 2 attacks, while harder to hit, can still actually hit, and even though they probably won't crit. I would say yes. I think 5th edition. So 5th edition, I think, did well in that it's kind of hard to mess up a character. 3.5, you could really, really screw your character over. But I think in 5th edition, you sort of have to actively try to screw it over. And I definitely think it's harder to make. Sorry, it's easier to make a bad character, but it's not like easy to mess up the character, right? Like you still have to try. But as long as you put like, you know, basically as long as you have an 18 in your main stat, you'll probably at least be serviceable. So, but yeah, it's really, really cool. And certain spells cost different actions. So like you can magic miss. There's like a Kamehameha ability where you can, like the heal spell, I think is great. So for one action on a heal spell, you heal them like 1d8. For 2 actions, it's now ranged and heals for 1d8 plus 8. And then for 3 actions, it does an AoE heal everybody around you. So I don't mind wanting role plays for being on theme, but I do hate obligations to only play certain combos of character. You will need a relatively balanced party. So somebody that can probably heal, and somebody that can frontline, and somebody that can maybe debuff. But so you probably can't all be the same class, but there's a lot of options to do those because a lot of different characters can heal. Oh, you meant for one character? No, yeah, you have a lot of options. I mean, it's probably easier to mess up than 5th edition, but I would say as long as your character has an 18 in their main stat, you will at least be serviceable. You will probably not be optimal, but you can at least, you know, make it work. You're not going to be useless. So, and the way they have characters and classes, you also have a lot of different variability because the heritage, which is the species of the classes of the characters you can play, they all have species ability, like heritage abilities, and they're all also very different. Like you could be a goblin, and that goblin could be extra tanky, or that goblin could be able to fall from high heights without taking extra damage, or alternatively, they can have like jagged teeth and do melee attacks without a weapon. So you don't necessarily just need it. You know, you can do a bunch of stuff within them. They have a bunch of different feats within that. So, and it's hard to kind of mess it up. It's not impossible, but it's definitely possible to play away. So that is what I also like, is each of the heritages have extra abilities that they automatically get. Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's definitely a little more mathy and a little more keeping up bookkeeping, but once you sort of understand all the systems, it makes a lot more sense, and it's a lot more tactical and way more fun. So that is my Pathfinder rant, which I think is probably a relatively good way to end out the stream. So that is not quite the purpose, but I really did like it, and I really like Pathfinder. So all right, I'm gonna give people a couple more minutes if they want to ask any other questions, but beyond that, I think we're about good for this. So yeah, call for it. What, you think I can only nerd out about recruiting? No, I can nerd out about a lot of fields. I am a multi-talented nerd. All right. Yeah, I am glad for the TED Talk. It's a good game. I want more people to play it. I want to play in more campaigns. The way it works. Also, one of the things that I really like is you can actually play a debuffer. Rolls die for job applications. Yeah, basically. I mean, it kind of is, because you're rolling I think you're rolling a dice every time you apply, because even if you're perfect, there's a couple of things that could happen that are completely outside of your control. Because, like, the role could be shut down, the recruiter could miss your resume, you could apply too late, you could click the different button. So I actually think it is a very good metaphor, is rolling. So yeah, saving throws not to go insane as well. Oh yeah, debuffing is a viable. Yeah, I agree. Games rarely let you play a debuffer. Pathfinder, it's very, very, very possible. In fact, most of the spellcasters are very good at debuffing as well. rather than damage. Marshals actually do more single target damage than casters throughout like the whole game. Single target. So yeah, I think it's a very good comparison of every time you have to roll or make a saving throw, because there's a lot of stuff that is just outside your control in the job search. I mean, managers could get what they want wrong, so that's happened, and they lost budget. Which honestly, the one time I had a manager is he said, look, I don't know if we have the budget for this, and I let everybody know, and I said, look, I'll be honest with you, candidates, we would rather tell you right now we lost the budget than hire you and then fire. And they're like, yep, no, agreed. And out of the roles that lost the budget, one or two of them got budget back, and we were able to make hires at it. So that's also why it pays to be nice and kind and forward and upfront with your candidates if that happens. So on the job searching front, how comfortable you feel about answering career aptitude questions? Like suggesting fields someone might be interested in checking out. I think that is a big gap in my knowledge of what jobs people should do. I think I'm very much of a case of once you understand what you would like to do, I can help you do that. And I can maybe suggest some things that I know of because I have a bigger knowledge of it than most people. But I think it is one of the bigger weaknesses on my front of helping people with jobs. So, should be criminal to post when there's any question on the budget. They should have hiring reserves before posting. I mean, I very much, I think the bigger problem is the person who posts it does not know their budget is going to get cut. And I am very glad they told me so that we could put it on hold so that the candidates know. But yes, I really wish that would be the case with companies, but that's unfortunately not the case. Is that person who has that budget does not always know that budget is going to get cut. Sometimes that comes from people that they have never met and never will meet. And that sucks. I think it should be that way. I really wish it would, but you know, I would rather, and I'll be honest, I would rather someone it gets cut during the interview process rather than them getting hired and then fired. Oh yeah, a lot of it. I mean, it's like I've worked with a company as an example where one of the budgets got cut for a part of it, and I worked with almost everybody up on the pole of that company, and it came from people like higher than that and maybe even another department. So a lot of the cases when people are angry at stuff in the corporate world, it's not quite the target of anger that is the fault, they're just the messenger. Especially typically the recruiter and HR. I know people are gonna murder me for that one, but it's in fact I think that is what a company in a corporate culture is good at, is sort of filtering out the problem, which I don't like, but it is a nature of corporations. But yes, it very much can be that the poster of the job, who is say a manager with 4 years experience in managing, had the budget at the beginning of the year, and a week or two into it, 5 people up got out of a meeting and said, hey, we don't have that budget anymore, we're moving it. And then they have to do that. Yeah, it is lack of transparency and built-in processes that are not always efficient. But it is both and I'm removing my morals from this for a second when I say this, is both a boon and a bad thing of companies from a their standpoint. Is that's sort of how it goes, is it can be very difficult to find the answer. And there's actually been cases where I have changed corporate policy because the person who made that policy, nobody knows who it was, and they're like, well, nope. And the decision makers were like, I thought X did it, I thought Y did it, I thought Z did it, and they all got together and went, well, if none of us did, and this is not an issue that's a legal thing, the HR said, because that's a different thing, then we'll just change the corporate policy. So I have had that happen before a couple of times. So, but yeah, that'll be it for me tonight. I will see you all on Thursday. Hope you all have a very good night, and words of encouragement. My mind just blanked out. So, oh yeah, remind me on Thursday, and I'll talk more about that kind of stuff. It just people don't typically ask it, so and it's even the people that it happens to don't always. I'm just intricately interested in how things work, and that includes the corporate biome. Essentially, it's like an ecosystem in itself, and one thing over here can affect something over here that can then affect something over here. So I find it very interesting. It's horrifying. All right, night everybody. Live and let live. Let me know, and I'll talk more about that Thursday. Just remind me. So later. Hope you have a good night. Bye.